it seems that the West, particularly dominant Western nations, have one disposition about human rights violations, about illegal actions for most countries. And then when it comes to Palestine, there seems to be an exception. I'll give you an example. Since the October 7th attack by Hamas, a majority of Western powers have stood in support of Israel. Now, I want to juxtapose that to 2022, when the president of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, gave a speech calling out Russia's targeting of Ukrainian civilians. Let's have a listen.
Targeted attacks on civilian infrastructure with a clear aim to cut off men, women, children of water, electricity and heating, with the winter coming, these are acts of pure terror. And we have to call it as such.
You know, they're saying these attacks, cutting off electricity, all this stuff is inexcusable, it's illegal, et cetera, and yet these very same nations, these very same forces who have stood up when it was Russia, Ukraine, are now not just complicit in their silence, they are actively supporting Israel's response.
You know, I think in this moment we have to contend with the fact that we are not in a post-colonial reality, but the colonialism continues to shape our lives. It's in the same way that genocide was practiced very much before it was proscribed in 1949, but it was never recognized when it was committed by colonial powers against brown and black peoples, but it becomes recognized when it was practiced within Europe's borders. There is a continuing colonial reality that is shaping how Palestinians have been excluded even from the juridical category of the civilian, one that echoes American jurists in their genocidal warfare against Native Americans, who have articulated that Native Americans are savages, and to whom the laws of war, even dating back to the Lieber Code, the first articulation of humanitarian law during the Civil War, excluded Native Americans from the category of civilians that made their massacre plausible. And so we need to remember we are still existing in that colonial reality, one in which these former colonial powers, and in some cases ongoing colonial powers, have excluded Palestinians from this category and have found it far easier and more morally compatible with their lack of principle to support Israel in genocidal warfare than it has been to support Palestinians in an ongoing decolonization struggle.
I want you all to give me your best insights. What are the chances of a ceasefire? Nora, I'll start with you.
I just want to start by saying that before I got onto this program, I asked several people to help me just search for the names of the Palestinians who were massacred in the Al Ahli hospital. I think that there has been part of the dehumanization project, aside from the fact that we're getting clear that there's no principle that all civilian life is sacred, but aside from that, the fact that Palestinian death toll is just shared with us in astonishing numbers, in ways that are actually dehumanizing Palestinians, because we are not getting the extent of pain for each life lost. We are not getting the extent of pain of all the beloveds and the kin that are watching this and being traumatized, of the babies who are left without any family around them, who are to wake up to a world orphaned and abandoned by the world that is blaming them for their own misery and only proposing to them that we're going to keep you in tighter cages in order to resolve this issue. So here I just want to emphasize to an audience watching, at what number will trigger the horror that should have been triggered already of Palestinian death? Is it 10,000? Is it 100,000? We have been asking this question since the debilitating siege was imposed on the Gaza Strip. And so the fact that we can't see that number within any plain sight speaks the deep dehumanization, the racial discourse, the colonial discourse that has basically primed audiences to accept Palestinian death and slow death as tragic but necessary, which is obscuring the fact, back to your question, Mark, where is the ceasefire, regardless of this red herring of who bombed the hospital. There should be an unequivocal call, because of the horror and the atrocity, for an immediate ceasefire. Israel has done enough. It killed 16 paramedics. It has denied electricity to hospitals where babies cannot survive in incubators because of a lack of electricity. It has cut off water. It has carbon bombed humanitarian convoys that are trying to travel to the south. That's not enough that now it becomes necessary to debate whether or not this was actually an Israeli airstrike. If there is really the fog of war is making everything unclear, then lift the fog and impose an immediate ceasefire. Why did the U.S. veto that resolution in the Security Council proposed by Brazil? So this is where we're at, and I urge all viewers that at this point, a ceasefire is the bare minimum and absolutely necessary.
Bare minimum and absolutely necessary.
Shalom, 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 shalom. As always, first I want to give all the praises and the glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua, Bahasham, Bakat, Katash, double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom. To the hopeful elect brothers and sisters of the house of Israel who have been edified of the truth of the Bible, who we are, the true children of Israel, and who the other nations are. Shalom, shalom, shalom. So, Esau, since you show no distaste for blood, I will give you a bloodbath of your own. So says the Most High Yahweh to the prophet Ezekeil about the children of Edom, the Edomites. And that's who those Israelis are that are calling themselves Jew or Jewish or Israeli. They are Edomites. They are the descendants of Esau, and they have no distaste for blood. So the Most High told the prophet Ezekiel that he's going to give them a bloodbath of their own. And I just want you to listen to the lady there. Her name was her name is Nora Erakat. All right, she's a human rights lawyer. I want you to understand. She made it quite clear what these people are doing. They're using the exact same playbook that the Europeans used. All right, that's using the exact same playbook. The Europeans are using the exact same playbook that the Europeans use. Sorry, the Israelis, Salaki, are using the exact same playbook as their brothers, the Europeans, did when they came to the Americas, and they massacred and they murdered and they pillaged and they slaughtered the Native American Indian tribes, and they labeled them as savages and as uncivilized to justify their lust for blood. They're killing the exact same thing. I should make it clear. She made it absolutely clear. It's the exact same playbook. And I've been saying it already. It's the exact same playbook because they are the exact same people. Those people that went to the Americas when Christopher Columbus went and he said he couldn't put down his sword because so much blood. He said he never rested, something like that. He made a statement, Christopher Columbus, talking about his sword, and he said he had so much blood. I forget he said. He said he could not put down his sword. I don't know if I can find it. He made a famous quote. Trying to see if I can quickly find it. Let me just see. 1 second, family. Yeah, this is what he said here. This is similar to what he said anyway, so I'm going to quickly put it up here. All right, but this is who these people are. These people are the same people that went to the Americas. Christopher Columbus was a crypto Jew. He was like from the tribe of Amalek. These are the same people. All right? The same people. Let me see if I can just quickly put it up on the screen here. 1 second. This is what he said. He said, as soon as I arrived in the Indies, on the first island which I found, I took some of the natives by force in order that they might learn and might give me information of whatever there is in these parts. They do not bear arms and do not know them, right? For I showed them a sword. They took it by the edge and cut themselves out of ignorance. They have no iron. Their spears are made of cane. They would make fine servants. With 50 men, we could subjugate them all and make them do whatever we want. That's exactly what you see going on in Palestine today. All right? And it's exactly what he did. Columbus did. It's exactly what he said. And he said something about he had so much blood. He had so much blood on his hands when he was fighting them. Something about he shed. It was something about the blood. He was talking about the amount of blood that he shed. All right? And these are the same people. These are the same people. The exact same people that went to the Indies. I'm trying to see if I can find it. Because genocide is what the deliberate killing of a large group of people, especially those of a particular nation or ethnic group, and that's what they're doing. They're committing genocide. Genocide means killing based on, in a whole or in part, a national, or ethical, racial, or religious group. It means killing, causing serious bodily or mental harm, deliberately inflicting conditions of life calculated to bring about physical destruction in whole or in part, imposing measures intended to prevent births, forcibly transferring children. And this is what they did. And in 1492, Columbus, that's what he did. When he went there on the Santa Maria, I bet the ship was called the Santa Maria. When he arrived in the Americas, right, he landed on the island of Haiti. And he described the island as being very fertile with excessive degree, right, with an excessive degree, supposedly. You know, it was beyond comparison. He was saying it was beautiful, fitted with trees, all thousands of kinds of tall and short trees. In addition, he found nightingales and other little birds of 1,000 kinds, honey and great variety of fruits, and many mines of metals and rivers, and many and great, and most of which were, filled with gold, right? And that's what he said. He said they had no iron or steel or weapons, nor are they capable of using them, although they are well-built people of handsome stature, because they are wondrous timid. He said they are so artless and free with all what they possess that no man would believe it without having seen it. All right? Of anything they have, he says if you ask them for it, they never say no. That's what, and we've still got that spirit in us today, all right? It says rather they invite the persons to share it and show as much love as if they were given their hearts, and whether the thing be of value or of small price. But this is what Esau literally drummed out of most of us, but some of our people still have that spirit today, right? And this is what Columbus knew, and this is what they did. They murdered, they pillaged, they raped. And these Israelis are the same people. They are the same people. They are Edomites. Columbus was a crypto Jew, an Edomite. So are these Israelis. They are all Edomites. And this is why they have a love. They have a love and a lust for blood. Hold on, there's a bit here I want to show you. All right, I'm going to go into scriptures in a minute. I just found something that I want to show you. These people are the devil that the Bible speaks of, and the more people get to see them, the more they're gonna know. All right, Columbus, greed, slavery, and genocide. What really happened to the American Indians? And that's what she was saying. She's saying the same playbook that these Europeans used when they went to the Americas by classing the people of color as savages. So it justified their murder, their lust for blood, their spillage, their robbery, their raping, their pillaging. It's the same playbook that the Israelis are using because they are the same people, all right? Hold on. There's a bit down here I want to read. Here it is. Columbus' second voyage had been an altogether different scale to the first. Ferdinand and Isabella of Spain had kitted him out with 17 ships and 1,200 men, principally soldiers, including a cavalry troop of lancers. When they arrived at Hispaniola, today we know as the Dominican Republic in Haiti, the natives came out to meet them with fish and fruit, as if we had been their brothers. In return, Columbus dispatched his troops to the island's interior and the nearby islands to plunder the gold mines, right? This is what the devil did. Armed with the latest weaponry, an armored mastiffs trained to rip people apart, the Spanish tortured, maimed, raped, slaughtered, and burned the inhabitants in search of gold. Bartolome de la Casa, if you ever get this man book where he goes into full detail, I've read his book several times, I've got it here with me. I've read it a couple of times. It's called The Devastation of the Indies by Bartolome de la Casa. He was a Jesuit priest who switched when he saw the barbarity and the madness of the people that he was with, the psychotic behavior, the genocidal psychotic behavior of Columbus and his men. He was the one that wrote the live account of what they did to the Native American Indians when these Europeans, when these Edomites came. It says, Bartolome de la Casa, an eyewitness who eventually became a Dominican friar and fought for the Indians' rights, left a harrowing description. I'm telling you, if you ever read this book, it's called Devastation of the Indies by Bartolome de la Casa. It's worth its weight in gold to read because it's an eyewitness account of what these devils did when they came to the Americas. And then you'll understand what these Israelis are doing is the same as what their ancestors did when they came to the Americas, because they are the same people. They are all Edomites. They are the descendants of Esau. So if you can, if there's a book you should ever buy this one. It's called The Devastation of the Indies, and it's by Bartolome de la Casa is the author. And it's a live account of what happened. He said, whenever the Spaniards found them, they pitilessly slaughtered everyone like sheep in a corral. Right? It was a general rule among Spaniards to be cruel, not just cruel, but extraordinarily cruel, so that harsh and bitter treatment would prevent Indians from daring to think of themselves as human beings or having a minute to think at all. What did Netanyahu call them? He said they are savages, they are monsters, they're not humans. He said they're the children of the dark and we're the children of the light. He says they are animals. This is what they do to justify their lust for blood, because they are the same people. They may call themselves Israelis, right? They're the same. These Europeans, these Israelis, they're all Edomites. So this is what they did. It says, so they would cut an Indian's hands, listen carefully, and leave them dangling by a shred of skin. And they would send him on saying, go now, spread the news to your chiefs. They would test their swords and their manly strength on captured Indians and place bets on slicing off heads. The slicing off of heads or the cutting of bodies in half with one blow. They burned or hanged captured chiefs. It was an orgy of looting and butchery, faithfully recorded by eyewitnesses. And he was an eyewitness, Bartolome de la Casa. He says the accounts are too graphic to quote, but they detail the widespread massacres, including of children. What are they doing in Palestine? They're massacring children because they are the same people. The Israelis are Edomites. They are not Israelites. They are not the children of Israel. They are the children of Esau. Just like the Europeans, all of these European nations, from Germany to France to England to Spain to Denmark to Sweden to Holland to Austria, they are all Edomites. They have a lust for blood. It says the accounts are too graphic to quote, but they detail the widespread massacres, including of children, dashing out their brains, and even feeding them to the armored attack dogs. This senseless savagery was described as what? Pacification. This is the devil. This is the devil. Pacification, they called it. And this is a Bible prophecy. It says here, but they detailed the widespread massacres, including children, doing what? Dashing out their brains and even feeding them to their armored dogs. This is what they was doing. Massacring the children, an orgy. And they called it pacification. Dashing out of their brains, the little children. That's why the scripture says this. Is it is it Psalms 137? I'm gonna find it. I've got a couple of scriptures. This is what they did. Here you go. Here's the prophecy. I just want you to see the prophecy of what Columbus did. It's all prophesied in the Bible. Where did they do it? In the Americas. O daughter of Babylon. Where is Babylon? Let me start at verse 7. Psalms 137 verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of who? Of Edom. Who are the Edomites? The Europeans, the Israelis, and all of their fellow European countries. These so-called white people, these Caucasians, they are the children of Edom. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundations thereof. Getting all the way back to when Nebuchadnezzar took down the southern kingdom around 590 BC. Goes all the way back to then. These Edomites have always been out for the blood of the Israelites because they've always wanted our land. O daughter of Babylon, talking about America, who are to be destroyed, because this is where we finally ended up on slave ships in the Americas. Happy shall he be, who be? These Edomites, that rewardest thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be, who? These Edomites, that taketh and what? And dashes the little ones against the stones. This is all Bible prophecy, what they did when they came to the Americas. What did Columbus do? It was an orgy of looting and butchery, faithfully recorded by eyewitnesses. The accounts are too graphic to quote, but they detail the widespread massacres, including of children dashing out their brains and even feeding them to their attack dogs. Dashing out their brains. What did King David say? Happy shall he be, the Edomites. They were happy, they were joyful. That taketh and dashes thy little ones, the children of Israel, the babies, actual children. This is actually talking about the babies against the stones. This is what they did when they went to the Americas. And they said it what? They said this senseless savagery was described as what? As pacification. So they were happy because they were, as far as they were concerned, they were pacifying us. So when you see what the Israelis are doing in Palestine, is because they are the same bloodthirsty people. They are all Edomites. So let me grab a scripture, another scripture, and then I'm going to shut this down. I just really wanted to bring this to the front, man. Ezekiel 36 or 35. Let's see. Ezekiel, I'm going to read this in the NLT. I'm going to see what the NLT says, right? Ezekiel 35 verse 1. I'm going to read a few verses down, then we're going to shut this down. A message. Listen carefully, Esau. Listen carefully, you Israelis, you Europeans that are cheerleading the wickedness of your fellow Edomites in Israel. Listen carefully, Esau, you Edomites in America, you Edomites in Australia, you Edomites in New Zealand, you Edomites in England, you Edomites in France, Germany, Spain, Italy, Denmark, Sweden, Netherlands, Austria. Listen carefully. Again, a message came from me to me from the Lord Yahweh. Son of man, turn and face Mount Seir and what? And prophesy against its people. 1 second, family. That's what we're doing, and that's what we're doing. So lucky. I had to give my son some money. This is going out. So lucky. Son of man, turn and face Mount Seir. This is talking about Babylon the Great, America, right? And prophesies against its people. So the people of the original Mount Seir are the Edomites today, who they call themselves Caucasians, the so-called white man. They were the inhabitants of Mount Seir. So it's talking about the people of Mount Seir, who now reside in the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. That's their stronghold. Give them this message from the sovereign Lord, Yahweh. I am your enemy, O Mount Seir. So when it's saying Mount Seir, it's talking about the people of a place that is symbolically known as Mount Seir today, which is the United States of America. And the original people of Mount Seir were Edomites today, who call themselves Caucasians or Europeans. The Lord is their enemy. The Lord is the enemy of every Edomite. He's the enemy of the Edomites in Israel that call themselves Israelis. He's the enemy of the Edomites in Europe that call themselves Europeans. He's the enemy of the Edomites in America that call themselves American. He's the enemy of the Edomites in Australia that call themselves Australians, and so forth and so on. Just so you understand, the Most High is the enemy of the people of Mount Seir that now inhabit the four corners of the world and rule the world. And also the place that symbolically reference to their stronghold, which is America. And I will raise my fist against you to what? To destroy you completely. Because the Lord is going to destroy Babylon the Great, Mount Seir, symbolically known as Mount Seir in Edom, which is the United States of America. He's going to completely destroy it because it is the Edomites' greatest place. It's their stronghold. It's their greatest thing they've ever built. It's America. I will demolish what? There you go. I will demolish your cities from Las Vegas to Miami to New York to Chicago to Ohio, Oklahoma to Texas, right? To Boston, to Los Angeles, to San Francisco, to San Diego, to Las Vegas. The Most High is going to demolish every single city in the United States of America. He's going to turn it into a human altar for the wickedness of the Edomites that built America and that rule the world today. I will demolish your cities and make you desolate. Then you will know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Then they're going to know who the Most High truly is, who Yahweh is. The Most High is going to bring the ultimate judgment on the Israelis, on the Europeans, on the Americans, the Australians, all of these Edomites that live in all of these countries and have built up all of these countries. He's going to make an example of them by destroying their greatest asset, their greatest prize, Babylon the Great, the United States of America. He's going to demolish every city in America. He's going to make it desolate, never inhabited by humans again. He's going to make it a human altar. then these Edomites around the world are going to know who the true power is. Then they're going to know who are the true children of Israel. Who are the Hebrew Israelites? Then they're going to know that those people that was leading them astray in Israel, calling themselves Israeli and Jewish, were never and not the children of Israel. Then they're going to know. And nor are those Palestinians. I'm just using them as an example of Esau's wickedness to make you understand how wicked this man is, that there's nothing new in this man's handbook. The Bible says there's no new thing under the sun. So what them see them doing in Palestine is a blueprint for what they did in the Americas. Complete blueprint. I just want you to look at that once more. What they did to our children. What they did to our fellow brothers and sisters. He says, I will demolish your cities and make you desolate. Then you will know that I am the Lord, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Because remember, the Most High is sending his son to bring in this judgment. Your eternal hatred for the people of Israel, this is what you call hatred. And this eternal hatred is still here today. This is hatred. They would test their swords and their manly strength on captured Indians, which were the Israelites. These were the 10 lost tribes of Israel, the Native American Indians of North, South America, and Canada. Those are our brothers and our sisters. They would test their swords on us and place bets on slicing off heads, slicing off of heads, or the cutting of bodies in half with one blow. They burned or hanged captured chiefs, and they dashed their babies' heads. Do they not think they're going to be judged, family? Do they truly believe? Do these Edomites that are masquerading around, calling themselves Europeans, masquerading, calling themselves so-called white people, do they not believe they're going to be judged? Do they truly not believe they're going to be judged? They're going to be judged. The Lord says, your eternal hatred for the people of Israel led you to butcher them when they were helpless. What were they doing in the Americas? They was butchering us when they were helpless. That's what they did. They butchered us, completely butchered us when we were helpless. That's what they did. They butchered us. They knew. We read you the quote here. As soon as I arrived in the Indies, on the first island which I found, I took some of the natives by force in order that they might learn and might give me information of whatever there is in these parts. They do not bear arms, the Native American Indians, the 10 lost tribes. They do not bear arms, right? It's beautiful. They do not bear arms, they do not know them, and do not know them. For I showed them a sword, they took it by the edge and cut themselves out of ignorance. They have no iron, their spears are made of cane. They would make fine servants. With 50 men, we could subjugate them all and make them do whatever we want. They came across the most beautifulest people, right? I think it even tells you it here. I think Hispaniola was Cuba. Salaki. Or is it? Oh, no, hold on. Yeah. By late October, he was in Cuba. And on the 6th of December, he had landed on the island of Haiti, which is renamed L'Espanola. Oh, it was Haiti. I was correct. Okay. I was wrong when I said that. He described the islands as very fertile to an excessive degree, beyond comparison, most beautiful, filled with trees of 1,000 kinds and tall, and they seemed to touch the sky. In addition, he found nightingales and other little birds of 1,000 kinds, honey, and a great variety of fruits, many mines of metal and rivers, many and great. The the most of which were bare gold, which bear gold. He said, they have no iron or steel or weapons, nor are they capable of using them. Although they are well-built people of handsome stature, talking about the Native American Indians, because they are wondrously timid. They are so artless and free with all they possess, that no one would believe it without having seen it. Of anything they have, if you ask them for it, they never say no. Rather, they invite the person to share it and show as much love as if they were giving their hearts. And whether the thing be of value or of small price. That's the love that we showed these devils before they massacred us. You think what they did in Israel is anything different? These are the same people. But this is what the devil did to us, just so you understand. So we go back here. It says, your eternal hatred for the people of Israel led you to butcher them when they were what? Helpless. When I had already punished them for all their sins. As surely as I live, says the sovereign Lord Yahweh, since you have no distaste for blood, I, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, will give you a bloodbath of your own, Esau. Your turn has come. So we are seeing the beginning of this man's truly end, because the Lord is going to pit the Edomites against the Ishmaelites, and then the other Edomites of the east, the Russians, are going to join bands with the Ishmaelites to come up against the Edomites of the west. Your turn has come, Esau. Your turn has come. I will make Mount Seir, which is the United States of America. This is symbolically talking about America, utterly desolate, killing of all who try to escape and any who return. I will fill your mountains with the dead, your hills, your valleys, and your ravines will be filled with people slaughtered by the sword. What's the modern day sword? These weapons, these guns, these rockets, these missiles. That's what the Lord is going to use. I will make you desolate forever. Your cities will never be rebuilt. Then you will know that I am Yahweh. For you said, the lands of Israel and Judah will be ours. What are they doing in Israel today? They are claiming the land of Israel to be theirs. This is what they are saying. This is what they are saying today. This is what these Israelis, these Edomites, are saying today. Every day we hear it on the news, they're talking about it's their land, 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 the state of Israel, the state of Israel. The lands, for you said, this is all Bible prophecy, what you see taking place, family. This is what they said, and this is what they are saying right now. The lands of Israel and Judah will be ours. We will take possession of them. Ain't that what they've done? Ain't that what they're trying to do to the rest of the land from the Palestinians? What do we care that the Lord Yahweh is there? Because they know they're not the Lord's people. Therefore, as surely as I live, says the sovereign Lord, I will pay back your angry deeds with my own. I will punish you for all your acts of anger, envy, and hatred. And IUIC said we can't hate the Edomites, and they hate us. The Lord said he's going to punish them for all their acts of anger, this so-called white man, and envy, because they envy us. That's why they're calling themselves, they're claiming to be the Jews, and they are not the Jews of the Bible. They are Edomites, because they envy the true children of Israel, and they hate us because they know who we truly are. And I will make myself known to Israel by what I do to you, Esau, by what the Lord does to you. Then you will know that I, the Lord Yahweh, have heard every contemptuous word you spoke against the mountains of Israel. We still hear it today. They're talking about they're the children of light. Every contemptuous word they've spoken against us during slavery, during incarceration, during the genocide of the Native American Indians, during the lynchings, during the oppression, during the racism. And even now they're speaking these contemptuous words because they're still claiming to be the Jews of the Bible. And they are not the Jews that crossed the Red Sea. They are the Edomites that was waiting for Jacob when he was coming from, I think it was Panal or Shechem. For you said, they are desolate. They are being given to us as food to eat. That's why they slaughtered us in the Americas. That's why they brought us to the Americas in slave ship, because they saw us as food to eat. In saying that, you boasted proudly against me, and I have heard it all. The Most High has heard your every boast, Esau, and he's coming for you in the midst of the war of Armageddon. And he's going to use your fellow Edomites and the Ishmaelites to bring you wicked Edomites down from the west before he himself turns up, the sovereign Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Listen carefully, Esau. Listen carefully, you Europeans, you Israelis. Listen carefully to what the sovereign Lord says, Yahweh, who's going to be sending his son, Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. The Most High is sending his son to do all of this judgment. This is what the sovereign Lord, Yahweh, says. The whole world will rejoice when I make you desolate, America. The whole world's going to rejoice when America has been put out of this misery. You rejoice at the desolation of Israel's territory. What are they doing now? Now I will rejoice at yours, Babylon the Great. You will be wiped out, broom, with the besom of destruction. You people of Mount Seir, which are the Edomites in the United States of America, who all live in Edom, which is America. The people of Mount Seir, the Edomites, the Europeans. And where do they live in their stronghold? Edom. They're in Europe, but their stronghold is Edom, the United States. Listen carefully. You will be wiped out, you people of Mount Seir, and all who live in Edom, America. Then these devils will know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. Say no more. Say no more. Say no more. Say no more. I'm going to leave it there. Then they're going to know. I'll be able to praise and the glory to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Rakah Kodash. I pray you are edified by today's edification. Esau, since you show no distaste for blood, I, the sovereign Lord, will give you a bloodbath of your own. And that's what's going to come from this war that's taking place in Israel. It's going to be a bloodbath that the Most High is going to bring on these Edomites, starting with these Israelis. And America is going to be the final place that's going to be totally destroyed alongside Israel when the Lord comes back for him to establish the kingdom of heaven on earth. So shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises.